Welcome to a Drop Tent Media production.
You stuck in an elephant, we are going to kill you. I'm so scared.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the at-home edition of Handle with Scare, where two cool friends discuss all things burlesque, horror, whatever the fuck we want, because it's our podcast. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I don't have the script for the intro, so because somebody couldn't make it today.
Yeah, I've heard of that person
if you-
before.
I don't know her. If you would like to follow us, you can catch us on Spotify, Apple Music. We got Napster. We got that. What do we have, Evan? Music, Spotify.
We're on Apple Music, Spotify. You can find us on YouTube,
We
or you
have
can
Radio, don't we?
I believe so. I think we're on Google as well. Pretty much anywhere you can find podcasts, there's a good chance that if you Google us, you will find us.
And the Drop Tent website, we can go there too. You can do that.
Yep. Droptent.com, and I believe it's /handlewithscare.
Yep. And you can also follow us on Instagram at handlewithscarex. And yeah, it's time for everybody's favorite segment, Dumb Tattoo of the Day. Evan, you wanna throw that up there?
I'm going to try and get it up there as fast as I possibly can. Give me one moment. I might just have to add it on again.
Well, while Evan's doing
There we
that,
go.
I just want
There
you
it
guys.
is.
There it is. All right.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So that's a Frau and Fat Bastard from Austin Powers. I did that today, actually, on a good client of mine.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's what I was doing. That's why we're filming this at 8:30 p.m.
Holy crap! That is.
Yeah.
I like the detail on it and the actual like line work. Even though I'm looking at it on a screen, looks pretty darn good.
Yep.
Especially like the detail in the forehead and everything.
Yep.
The shadows on the breasts on
the breastises. Yeah. Do you know how hard it is to a person who doesn't look like a real person?
Oh, I'm
like at
sure
all.
It's almost impossible. Yeah.
That bastard doesn't look like a real person. Yeah, so we did that today. And if you would like to get more tattoos like this, you can go to pushtattoos.com. Go to the very simple booking link, and you can book with any of our fabulous artists who would be happy to put Fat Bastard on your leg.
Well, just not actually, that exact same tattoo, maybe.
I might be the only person happy to do that. But it's okay. You should make everybody else do it. Give them a challenge. But yeah, so today we are really bullshitting around. See, as you can see, I have Matthew Lillard back here in the my parents are gonna be so mad at me scene, because Heather's gonna be so mad at me because this episode is gonna be a mess.
No, it's gonna be fun.
Look, that's me right now inside. I actually met Matthew Lillard at Monster Mania last year. Actually 2 years in a row, and Matthew Lillard recognized me the last time. Not to brag or anything. We're getting pretty serious. I'm pretty sure we're engaged at this point. But yes, he recognized me because I have done tattoos of him on so many people. And they all go to the Monster Mania down in Cherry Hill and, show him. And actually, Heather and I will be at the Monster Mania in Cherry Hill coming up. I believe it is March 15th.
Oh, shit.
Kevin, could you Google that? Could you look up when the Monster Mania is? We're going to be there. Yeah. And I think we should do a little vlog. I took off work for this, guys.
You said Cherry Hill, right?
Yeah, Monster Mania. Just look at Monster Mania. It should be monstermania.net.
March 11th through the 13th.
Yes, that was none of the days that I said.
Close.
Perfect. I took off work for it though, guys. There's a Dexter reunion. Fucking super spreader event. I will be wearing my N95, and so should you.
Oh yeah, no, we're gonna be getting some nice masks. Look like a zombie outbreak's about to happen.
That's right. I'm wearing a face shield, y'all. I'm wearing a face shield. I'm gonna look like there's some type of thing going on. And you know what's interesting? The girl from Dexter was in that movie Quarantine, so it all comes full circle.
Huh.
Jennifer Carpenter, she was in Quarantine. So yeah, we'll go to Monster Mania. We're gonna have a good time. We'll have some good fits with our masks. You know, yeah. And yeah, you can go buy your tickets to Monster Mania by going to monstermania.net. I'm going to promo Monster Mania because they are a great convention. It's a good time. I go every year, but I've never gone all 3 days. It's amazing that I took off work. Can we all applaud in the comments that Anna took off work? We need to applaud in the comments because that is half the reason why sometimes we're slow to get out episodes.
Yeah, there really is. Like, it'd be a good one. Holy crap!
It's going to be a good one. The guy from Reanimator is going to be there. I'm blanking on his name right now. I'm very excited. Ernie Hudson's going to be there from Ghostbusters, which is one of my favorite movies. So yeah, it's going to be a really good time. And please wear your mask. That's why we're actually filming from home because all of us live in 3 different places. And I am constantly up people's asses doing their tattoos. So we don't want to get COVID from me or anybody else.
No COVID, so yeah. No Rona.
That's the real horror story. Did you see this, Evan? Did you see this new thing? It says somebody reported something that there's a hybrid of the Omicron.
I did see that the Omicron and the Delta variant. They're bound together to get even scarier.
That's Heather and I. We're the Delta Cron. yeah, and then there's Flurona.
Oh God!
Which it's a real thing. Is when you get both at the same time. I'm trying not to get either, so N95s, everybody, N95s.
I'm kind of excited. I don't know if you saw it. The PC company Razer came out with a N95 mask that's got LED lights all around it, and it actually has a clear face front too, so you can actually see the person talking as well. It's actually pretty cool. Yeah.
Is it terrifying looking?
No, it makes you look like you're probably supposed to be at a rave, like raving really, really hard and safely.
Yeah.
And safely now.
Yeah. Safely. Don't do ecstasy, y'all.
Don't do that at all. I am not.
While you wear the mask, while you're wearing your mask.
Oh, especially not. It would make you so hot.
Or actually,
oh God.
No, do wear your mask. Do anything because it's a mess out there. But yeah, today I'm gonna go and I'm gonna tell everybody some client horror stories, and Heather's gonna be real pissed. Evan, have you ever gotten a tattoo? You have.
I have one.
Were you a horrible client?
No, I was probably one of the nicest people. I sat there. The only thing I will be honest about, because I didn't plan on getting a tattoo. Actually, one of my really good friends got it for me, like on a whim. He was like, "Hey, I'm going to get a tattoo," and I was like, "I'll come with you." And he's like, "Do you want one?" I was like, "I guess." Nobody told me I needed to eat, so I was planning on eating afterwards because I'm that person that's always gone and done something first and then eat. Didn't even have like a soda, none of that stuff. So really high pain tolerance, but I went completely like yellow and then white, and then they were like, "Are you good?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine, I think." And then it got to the point where I was just like, "I'm not good, guys." And then they gave me like a handful of candies and stuff. So that was good. But beyond that, I was probably one of the best that you could get. I wanted to do it all at once. They actually stopped me because of the fact that when they asked like if I ate, and I was like, "No, I'm going to eat later." And they're like, "Did you eat anything today?" I'm like, "No." So that was the only thing. But other than that, yeah.
Yeah. We we actually every time a horrible thing happens, we add something to the paperwork when you not when you come in, but when you pay the deposit, there's like a thing that goes out and it has all of these things now like to eat is one of them. We definitely added that. We had to like we have people who show up late. That's a new thing that people are doing all the time because they think we need them because COVID. And like, no, you can't show
Well, I'm
up late.
pretty sure it's the
But
opposite,
anyway,
right? I'm sure people have been clamoring to get their tattoos and stuff, especially when everything was
well,
slower, right?
the problem right now is that everybody's canceling because they're getting COVID.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the day before they'll be canceling, and then I'll have to move them to like one of my days off. It's my favorite thing. Um, but yeah, so let's passing out. I had a very recent bad pass out. I was by myself in the shop and it was so warm out. I think it was like September and everybody was outside except me. And I was tattooing this guy and we were talking about RuPaul's Drag Race. We were just talking and like having a great conversation. All of a sudden he stops talking and I'm like, "Are you okay?" And then he falls forward and we have those salon barber chairs
Yeah.
that like yeah, and they have some give to them. So if you lean forward, they're going to lean forward with you.
Hmm.
And he was a man who was way bigger than me, and I had to hold him up for like 3 minutes so that his
Oh,
head wouldn't hit
crap.
the floor. Because the thing is, listen, folks, if somebody passes out, you need to make sure that their head doesn't hit the floor because that can cause them to have a concussion or bleed or anything like that, and that's what you don't want. Or they could die. Could die. You could die if your head hits the floor. So I held him up for 3 minutes because I'm a hero. Um,
Did he come
and
back or was it
he,
like, did somebody come and help
I'm
you?
no, he came back, but it was the longest time anybody's ever taken to come back from a pass out. And so I was like, oh my God, like this guy's like not coming back. He
Oh,
gets up
Jesus.
and
Yeah.
then he almost acts like he's annoyed with me because he passed out. And then he's like, please don't tell him, which I'm telling everybody right now because I don't intend to do that shit.
He didn't give his
Like,
name anyway. It wasn't Bob Stevenson.
yeah. Yeah, no. I don't care. But he treated me like I did that to him and then I was like, we can't continue. Like luckily I had gotten through the parts of the tattoo I needed to in order for him to come back. But he came back, he got it finished, almost passed out again. And I was like, I can't do this again. Like you don't
Yeah.
follow the instructions. And it's always people who don't follow the instructions. They're like, I eat a little, I'm usually fine. Well, obviously not.
Yeah.
Obviously not.
No, I'll tell
That's
you from experience. Eat some stuff, have some sugar because your
yeah,
levels are going to drop. You know,
yeah.
you might feel great
I'll tell
going in, but
yeah. Yeah. I'll tell you what I encountered this though. And this like just happened to me like the other day. When somebody brings somebody with them, and sometimes you just have to let them bring somebody with them because they're just so like anxious, they always sit worse, especially when they bring a partner with them that they're like seeing. And what I believe it is it's a thing of like attention. Like I'll have people who are my regular clients
get
who
a
will
little
sit
hammy.
even
Yeah.
yeah, they get a little they ham it up for their like for their people. I am
Yep.
almost at the verge of saying you can't bring somebody with you because as much as I understand anxiety, I know some of my regulars have been there with me by it themselves and they've sat fine. I literally
Yeah.
had somebody ham it up that was like one of my really good clients. Now I think differently of them because I like saw them do it.
That
But yeah,
stinks. You know what? That
it
makes sense
sucks.
though. It definitely makes sense
Mhm.
with like, like psychology and stuff, how people sometimes when they're around friends act a little different and, ham it up quite a
Yeah,
bit.
it's so upsetting. It's so upsetting, and it always
God,
is
it
disappointing because I'm just like
makes you
that
wish
person
everybody
should
was
love
just
you
like tough
anyway.
guys. Just be a tough
Yeah,
guy.
no, yeah, but oh yeah, just be tough. Just come in by yourself. It's okay. I'll see you the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's something I literally had it happen the other day. Like this girl would literally look over at my boyfriend to see if he was paying attention to her, and then act a fool.
So
And I was
weird.
like,
God, people are so weird.
I can't believe this is still happening in the year of 2022. That people are just clamoring for each other's attention. I can't believe independence has not. I can't
Blame
believe it.
the internet, I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean that, and like there's so much access to knowing how much tattoos hurt. If you Reddit is honestly a blessing and a curse because people will go on Reddit to look up how much did your thigh tattoo hurt, and then people, the worst stories are always on the internet,
Oh yeah, and they're the
like
ones
the
that are
horror
upvoted like
stories.
crazy. Yeah.
Yes, the horror stories are always on the internet. So people are just on like websites looking up like how much it's going to hurt, and then they expect it, and then they go into it and it hurts. And I've never had more people hurting so bad than I do now. Because people are
Well,
just
it's 'cause
like,
they have
oh yeah,
all that
they're right
time
on the internet.
online. They're just
There's so
sitting there
much
on their phones.
psychology.
Everybody's on Reddit.
Yeah, yeah.
So
If anybody who is a listener knows anything about psychology, tell us what this phenomenon is in the comments. Because I really want to know. I want to know what's going on with that.
speaking of
Let's
really want to know, I want to know. I don't. Before I ask you what the worst is, like the worst
mhm.
person ever
Yeah.
is there anybody that's like really like stuck out to you and been like, that person was awesome. I love them coming in all the time. You say you have regulars, so I'm sure that there are at least a few, at
Oh
least a
yeah.
handful of people that are like,
Well,
great.
oh my God, okay. My favorite person right now is the guy who is getting the Austin Powers leg sleeve because he's already started getting tattooed by me. Like he got like some other like stuff done on his other leg. Um, he is the most hilarious person. This
Yeah.
man, okay, remember in a previous episode he tattooed on him,
Oh,
and her
can you
name is
repeat that? You
Elaine.
just froze a little bit.
Oh shit. He got this random lady tattooed on him. Her name was Elaine Abercrombie, and it's a person that he made up.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. He told me another story the other day about this woman that he met on a train named Rainisha, and she had like one of those bodysuits that snap at the crotch on. And she asked him to help her snap it because she's like a larger woman and she needed her bodysuit snapped. She needed help. And she was like really tall and like couldn't reach. So he helped her, which is the weirdest thing. Like, I don't know why you would ever do that. So he did it. And then she said, okay, now let me suck your dick. And then he was like, no, I'm on my way to get a tattoo. I'm not interested. And then she was like, what are you getting tattooed? And he was like some, like, I don't know what he was getting. He was getting it from a friend of mine, actually, not me. She said, get my name tattooed on you. So he got her name tattooed. Her name is Rainisha.
Oh
It's on
my
his
God.
stomach. He has the name Rainisha tattooed on him, and he'll always remember her as the lady who he snapped her bodysuit for her 4 times on the train. Yep, yep. He's a very special gentleman. He's one of my favorite people. He just tells a random weird story all the time, and he
Holy
just
shit.
wants an Austin Powers leg sleeve, and you know what? That's what he's gonna get.
He's getting more Austin Powers happening
He's
around
getting
it.
more. So I think the next thing he's getting like is like number 2 and the Mojo, like the thing at the
Wow.
Mojo, and
Okay.
a big
Okay.
70s letters or some big 60s letters that say Scotty don't. I think that's his next thing. But yeah, he's having a good time. He does not give a fuck,
Wow.
and it's my favorite thing.
I,
But yeah,
I
do you
just can't
want to hear the
imagine being that
worst?
person to be in that
Oh yeah,
situation.
oh yeah.
Like,
And then I would literally crawl into a hole and die, but he helped her, and he's a hero for that. He
oh
helped
yeah,
her
no,
out.
I would have been trembling, and my hand would have probably gotten lost somewhere while trying to snap his bodysuit, and I would have been like, I'm done. I'm out. I'm gonna go kill myself. I'm out of here. We're done. We're done. Somebody probably saw
No,
me.
I don't think you would have. I don't think you would have helped her. To be honest, in the comments, would you have helped Rainisha snap her bodysuit? I want to know.
I personally wouldn't. I sounding like you probably wouldn't either.
I don't think so. Because it's the times of COVID, and I'm not interested in getting that
Yeah.
close to a stranger. But it was very nice of him to do, and I'm very happy. for them. She did say that next time she sees him, she's gonna suck his dick. So I mean, I hope he sees her. I hope they're reunited so he can show her the tattoo.
Same. I'm
Yeah,
sure she's gonna
yeah.
get
Now,
very
okay,
excited
the
when she sees that
worst.
tattoo.
I'm gonna think about the worst. So, oh yeah, okay. So I told, oh god, I told part of this story on the Inked magazine videos. If you go on YouTube, you can go to Inked magazine's YouTube channel. You'll see my good friend Oba, who I also work with. He does not like to be called my boss, so I'm just gonna say my good friend who I also work with. They are YouTube videos of Oba and I on Inked Magazine. They're fantastic. And there's some good horror stories on there. But I tell one about this man who I'm tattooing the back of his leg, and he says, "Gotta fart," gets up, goes to the other side of the room, farts, and then crop dusts the entire shop. Yes. So, as it turns out, Evan, I can't hear you anymore. Can you hear me still?
Oh, I hear you. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
I wasn't trying to
Oh,
laugh
you're
too loud.
muted.
That's just
You're
that.
muted. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Yes, I'm sorry. I feed off your laughter. So, um,
And
anyway,
sometimes a lot of it is me for a face because like I'm worried that I'll start sounding like a hyena, and it's just like
yes, yes. Um, anyway, so yeah, so he cropped us through the whole shop and then laid back down. He was very strange. The extra parts are much more interesting though because this man came in with a briefcase. I said, "What's in there?" He's like, "My guns." I was like, "Oh." So I pick up the briefcase and I put it somewhere else because I don't want him to be able to get up and reach it because obviously he's not a stable individual. Um,
hell no.
so I open the briefcase slightly, which is an invasion of privacy. I don't care at this point because by the end of the story, you won't feel bad for him. These are not like handguns or like pistols. This is like there's a new sheriff in town, wooden handle, old gun.
Oh
Not a
God.
Tommy gun, but it was like I don't know what you would call that, but they were like these old ass guns. He's like, yeah, they're my grandpa's from World War II. I'm like, okay. And this guy's getting Snake Plissken tattooed on him, so he's pretty cool for that.
Damn it. He seems
So
so cool now. Like what the hell?
no, he's not cool at all.
God damn
So
it.
so a client of mine was dating him, and I was like, how the fuck is she dating this man? He smells weird. He did that weird thing with the fart. He's just a weird guy. It turns out that he was like a piece of shit, like terrible, like mentally abusive boyfriend or whatever. So I had to fire him as a client because as soon as she broke up with him, and I was so glad she did because like I literally saw him gaslight her in front of me, like when I was tattooing her. So I was like, this
Oh.
guy sucks. Like this guy sucks, and he's also we call him the fart bull, like the fart guy.
Ugh.
So like you're already the fart guy, and then you're a fucking asshole. So then she breaks up with him. He goes into my DMs immediately and is like telling me that like he wants to take me out and heart reacting on my shit and all this stuff. So I block him. He goes on Facebook and says that I'm afraid of large men and that's why I won't tattoo him.
Oh,
Now hold on a
okay.
minute. My my last 5 ex-boyfriends have been over 6'3".
The big Amazon dudes. They're looking like
Big
professional
dudes,
wrestlers.
tall
Yeah.
dudes, tall dudes. Even the one that you met that is a comedian is really tall.
Very tall. That guy, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not the tallest human being in the world, but I'm almost
Yeah,
6 foot. He was a lot bigger than me.
I'm not afraid of tall and big, large men, but that is the funniest reason why I've ever had somebody say that. But yeah, terrible person, terrible person. But I also have a lot of clients who are in HVAC, and that was the industry he's in. And if you know anything, if you any of you listen to this podcast who live in Delaware, you know that everybody in Delaware knows each other. So many of my clients have worked with this individual, and he's gotten fired from so many jobs. So he got fired from the shop. He gets fired from his jobs. He's a terrible person. and he says he says things like he's gonna come down there and talk to me about it because his ex-girlfriend's lying and stuff like that. But I've had to fire clients because I know their behavior outside of it, and I cannot have them in my chair.
Yeah, fair
Like,
enough.
I
Especially since the
cannot
world
have
is so
them.
small. You're
The
gonna hear
world
stuff.
of Delaware is so small.
Yeah. Yeah, especially
I
I mean
can't have.
Delaware's it's literally just a highway with some shit coming off the sides. Like I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
realistically, it
I mean,
really is a
it's
thoroughfare. It's you're just going right through it. Not
yeah,
much
and
there.
it's and I'm from there, but it's just so like you have to fire certain people because you can't have those people on your books. Um, it's insane. It really is. So that guy sucked. There's also the guy who I tattooed him. He wanted the word Friday on his face, but when he was looking in the mirror, he wanted it to be he wanted it to be written so that he could read it. So he wanted me to put it on backwards, which I
Yeah.
was refusing to do. So when I put it on like the right way, like where everybody could read it and it said Friday, he kept telling me that I was trying to put a backwards tattoo on him. I argued with him for like 30 minutes until my other client got there and was like, "You're an idiot. It's backwards." My other client was waiting for me for an hour because this guy wouldn't stop. And it was at the point in my career where I didn't know how to tell people, like, I can't do this anymore. Like, you got to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a hard time with that. So when he did that, I just let him go. So he then wanted more tattoos from me after that one and DM'd me about it. He had an appointment and everything. Then he fucked up because he went in my DMs and kept saying, "Oh, let me take you out. Let's go somewhere." Like heart reacting, saying gross ass shit on my stories and stuff. Like, so I blocked him. He pulls up to the shop 3 months later, misses the appointment because obviously I blocked him. And like I canceled his appointment and refilled it with somebody else. He pulls up to the shop, whips around the corner and goes, "Why'd you block me?" Like I'm
Weird.
sitting outside with my coworkers and he says, "Why'd you block me?" And everybody outside is like, "What?" Like this guy just came up and asked. And I lied to him and said I didn't block him and that something must be wrong with his Instagram. And he believed it and drove away. And then I was like, "Guys, I lied. I blocked him."
You should have
Like
just
I
told him
definitely
why. You'd
blocked
have been
him.
like, "You're weird. You're fucking weird. Get
Yeah.
out of here."
Yeah.
Nobody ever learns when they're not told if they're weird. If somebody's being weird, you
No.
say, "Hey, you're being
Nobody
weird."
ever learns. I'll tell you one more really good story, and it's not mine, but I'll tell it. So my good friend Oba, my coworker, good friend, not my boss, not allowed to say that.
Not boss
Um,
at all.
he and I both worked at the same shop, but at different times before he owned this shop. And there was a guy who worked there, and I don't give a fuck. Fuck this guy. His name's Brian, and he's a piece of shit. Anyway, he had no teeth. And one day he came into work apparently cheesing. And they were like, "There's no way that this dude who will get like does like one tattoo a week and sucks his job got new teeth, right?" So another guy who worked there at the time that Oba was there. This is when Oba was working there. I didn't work with any of these people, but I know of them. So this guy comes in, he said, "Did you see Ryan's new teeth?" And he was like, "Yeah, he didn't get veneers, did he?" He was like, "No, that's somebody's Invisalign with tissue stuffed in it."
No fucking way, dude. That's
That's my
hilarious.
favorite tattoo shop story ever. That guy did that. He came in cheesing like he really did something. It was somebody else's Invisalign.
Oh
How do
my
you?
fuck.
And then Evan, that it was just white.
That's hilarious. Oh my god.
that's that's so gross. But yeah,
Right?
that's like
Oh
my
my
favorite. Like
god.
that's not even a client. That's not even
It's
anything.
not
Can you imagine working with that person?
right. There's stuff
And
just
like,
falls out and it's just
well, for anybody who doesn't know how a tattoo shop works, you are literally working right next to somebody else, and it's a small group usually. I mean, I've never really seen a tattoo shop with more than 10 people working at it, and the one that we worked at was like 5 people at that one. There's 5 people at the one I currently work at. Um, you will literally get roasted. You will get to know your coworkers. There's no way that guy lives that down. There's no way. I wouldn't let them
No,
edit that down.
no, that's
Yeah.
fun.
Isn't that great? That's the greatest thing that's ever happened.
Right? You're just waiting for your buddy to get that new thing of Invisalign. Hey, our mouths are pretty similar, dude. Like, did you get your new Invisalign yet? Can I have some tissues?
Oh my god, with tissues. How did it stay in? That's the question.
Oh, that's
Like, how did it?
he would have had to jam it in or something.
Yeah.
Or maybe he was like had his tongue holding it. I don't know, man. I don't know.
You know what's so crazy? You know what's so crazy though? We had these weird ass stories like that. Like these stories that I have are like weird compared to like everybody. You'll see the Ink magazine videos and you'll have people who like got somebody's name tattooed on them or had like a weird like like client like either peed themselves or threw up or something like that or something gross. But you don't have these weird things, like these weird things that only happen around me and my friend Ova, and that's it. It's never like normal shit like somebody passed out and then they shit themselves. That's like the story everybody tells. We didn't have that. Or somebody skipped out on paying. We've never had that either. Like it's just weird, like one-off shit that you can't write.
Yeah, the fucking fart guy and fucking fake teeth man.
Invisalign guy, why you block me guy. Like I tell that story on the Ink magazine too. I'm trying to think if because nothing super odd has happened recently because really and like this is gonna get like serious for a minute. People are just generally rude now.
Yeah.
During this time of the pandemic, they're just generally very rude. And that's what that's what we're dealing with now. Is like you're late and you think it's cool because you're, you guys need us, like money's tight right now. Like that's not even the case. So like that's what's weird. And then, you have the people who are like during Christmas time, oh, I spent too much on Christmas. Well, you had this appointment booked, so
yeah,
it's just rudeness and people being very entitled. And then you also have people who tell you the most deep, crazy stuff about themselves, like, oh, I had this happen and then this person died and stuff like that. And they just met you, and the boundaries just aren't there anymore. People feel very free to share things and to like trauma bond and stuff with you. That's like become very hard to take on like mentally. Like it's like people's stuff. Like you got to carry that with you. I've heard stories that made me so sad about people, and you carry that throughout your day. And like I think we need to start normalizing like, hey, can I share this with you right now? Can you mentally handle this information right now?
Yeah.
And it's because like when it's winter, everybody's got the seasonal depression. I understand wanting to vent is like very natural, especially when you're sitting with somebody and they're close to you for so long. But it's very hard for us as artists to take on. And I feel like it happens with hairdressers and it happens with nail people. It happens with all kinds of people who provide services that you have to be there with them for an hour or more. But it's very like we think we need to normalize that. Like, let's set this boundary. I may be able to handle your story today, but I might not tomorrow. So ask your service people, like, can you handle this? Or like, you might have a shared experience where like the same thing happened to you, and then it's triggering for people. It's just, I think as that's definitely the biggest issue. Like boundaries are not there anymore, and I think that the internet is to blame.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you're sitting on Facebook where you're anonymous, you're sitting on YouTube, you're anonymous, you're sitting on Reddit, you're anonymous, more or less. I mean, any of these things, you can change your fucking name. So it's not like anybody can really know who you are if you want to speak, your mind, per se. But like, I think that probably has something to do with it. If you have a bunch of people who haven't been around other people, where they're only, a lot of these people probably their only interaction is screaming at somebody on Call of Duty, and that's not real human interaction.
Yeah, in the last 2 years, there hasn't been really any real human interaction. So it's natural to want to like bond with literally
Yep.
anybody. And some of the people that I tattoo, I'm the only person they've seen in person
Yeah. Like other
in
than
a
the same
while.
people, like the same two people that they see every week, and then maybe their coworkers, and then it's just like, oh, you're a new person. Hello, new face. I'm
Yeah,
going to talk to you now.
exactly. And it's very like emotional all the time. Which
Yeah.
is it's more so than it's ever been. Is it's very heavy all the time. A lot of the things that people talk about and that people are going through are heavy all the time. And I think definitely just being able to share all the time on the internet has made people overshare in real life. And it's also a response to anxiety. I mean, you're getting a tattoo, like you're anxious. So I
Yeah.
think oversharing can be an anxiety response. But we definitely boundaries are definitely the biggest thing that I face. Like there's no real craziness happening at our shop. We're very regulated. We have a closed door. You have to be let in. We have a booking system, which is very easy to use.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
um,
Oh, yeah. Super
yes,
easy.
super easy. Um, we are able to know who our client is more or less before they come in. So, you know, it's hard to have real crazy things happen now. But when we had people walking in, we had crazy things happen all the time. Um, but we have people sitting bad. Well, we have people who sit bad. We have like all that, but it's never anything so nuts. Like, it's never anything crazy. We did a coworker of mine did have a guy play in his own blood. That was weird. Like
What?
like he was sitting there, and I guess she was letting the tattoo sit, and so he took his finger and like finger painted in his blood on his leg, and I was like, dude, that guy's finger painting in his own blood.
I mean, that's metal as shit, but like, what the fuck, dude?
It's yeah, he was on some weird shit. But yeah, like weird stuff like that, but never anything like so crazy, like people screaming at each other and stuff like that. Like, and also like as a shop, we don't operate like we don't fight there. We are all friends, so it's not like we have that either. So the stuff that happens is just weird. It's like bizarre, but it's not crazy. It's just like what the fuck kind of stuff. But like the stuff you read on Reddit and all that stuff is like so over the top.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, I'm
all
still
that stuff.
putting my head through the, crop duster guy with the fucking bag of wooden guns. That's just
The bag of guns, well,
absolutely.
they weren't wooden guns, they were old guns.
They were old, but
Like
they,
and
with like a wooden stock
yeah.
and other bull crap on it. So it was like a lot of it. Yeah. Most guns aren't
And
made with wood anymore.
they were heavy as fuck. It was like a bag of bricks. I was like, what the fuck is
So
this? But
that to
I've
me,
also
because
never held
a
a
lot of
gun.
those things is like having old guns like that, I know is a really good way to skirt around a lot of like laws and stuff, because it's considered like a, like
Yeah.
a piece of like history, as opposed to like a
Yeah.
firearm per se. So
Yeah.
that's what scares me about it, because this guy could have just been walking around everywhere with this fucking thing of wooden guns, like scary old, 100-year-old guns. It's absolutely horrifying. Like,
Oh yeah. Yeah, this guy
I'm
is
just glad that
so
all he did was
weird.
fart on you guys and, make it stink in there.
That was
That's so weird. And then
it was
the other
something
guy actually
else.
showing up to your work, ah, super
To
weird.
ask me why I blocked him? Yeah,
Super weird.
yeah, super weird. And guys, remember, I'm afraid of large men apparently, so that's why I
I
had to
think,
fire that guy. Not because he was a terrible person.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's why. Yeah, and then lately, I'm trying to think. We have client horror stories. But other than tattooing during this horror story, which is the pandemic, I have been catching up on movies and shows. I've been
Hmm.
watching The Witcher. Good one. Really good
Have you?
one.
Oh,
Yeah.
I've been hearing so much good stuff about that, and I know the second season just came out not too long ago, so I
It's good. It's
might
good.
have to get into it.
Now hold on now. I'm going to try to get away with talking about this because Willem Dafoe's in it. Spider-Man?
I have not seen it yet.
Oh my
We're going tomorrow.
God.
I know.
You can't do
I-
this to me.
You know what? You know what the worst part is? I have had so many plot points spoiled for me that I've
It's
already
okay.
seen it.
It's great no matter what.
Oh, I'm sure. And
No.
and the stuff that I've heard and read and all that stuff, it's just like, if anything, it's gotten me more excited to see it because it's like I can't wait to see what happens and like how it actually is done. Because I like, close the page real fast if I start reading something, or if like the video, or I've listened to a couple podcasts that are like be starting to talk about it.
But
I'm
also,
like, oh,
it was
crap.
spoiled. It was spoiled so long ago. Listen. If Heather was here, she would never let me get away with it. But I'm getting away with it now because I wanted to talk about it because I love Spider-Man. That's it. Spiders are spooky. It's fine. But yeah, Willem Dafoe. It's amazing. Go see it, Evan, so we can talk about it next week and I can bother Heather about it. Yeah, I mean, catching up on like weird things. Like I had never watched Lord of the Rings before until now. Like never watched
You
it.
never
until
watched
now.
Lord of the Rings?
No, it's great though. It's great though, and the orcs are scary as fuck.
Yeah, especially in the first three, like the original three movies, because everything's like super practical effects. Those guys are so gross, especially when they're coming out of like their little pods when they're born.
Yeah,
It's
so
just-
I'm catching up on that. It's taking me a really long time because it's just hard for me to sit there for so long. Trying to catch up on that. Dexter, I'm starting a new series because there is a new
Nice.
series, and apparently they clean up that ending for us. Like we don't have to be as mad about the ending of Dexter. If you watched Dexter, you know the
Watched a
ending.
little bit of Dexter,
Terrible.
didn't keep up with it, and then I heard the ending was bad, and
Yeah.
I was like, not
was
going to
so
ruin it for
bad.
myself.
It was so
I
bad,
heard
but I love Michael.
such bad things about the ending. So
Yeah, it was horrible. But apparently the new series makes that ending acceptable. So
Okay.
I'm kind of cool with it then. I'm kind of cool with it at that point. I'm kind of surprised they got Michael C. Hall to do it again. But, he seems like a pretty nice guy. Can't wait to meet him at Monster Mania. I'm going to stand in the 6 hour line. I'm going to do it. In fact, I think we're going to make it a running joke that I'm still standing in fucking line. I don't care. I don't
we'll
give
film
a
a
fuck.
vlog and we'll check in on you where you're at, how many steps you've taken.
Check in on me in the
since.
line. I don't care. I'm going to do it. Actually, I think that we stay in. I think that me and Heather are staying in the hotel. I'm not sure that the thing is in. So I'm just gonna get down there real fucking early. That's all I'm gonna do.
Get there, be the first one there.
Yes, I think I'm gonna just buy the VIP shit. I'm just gonna be a
We'll get
baller
press
that
passes.
weekend.
What do you mean? We'll just get in there. What are you talking about?
True. I'm gonna be a baller that weekend. So yeah. But that's about it, guys. Let's cut this episode. I'm not gonna do fuck, marry, kill because like there were some serious topics, there were some not serious topics, and I feel like anytime there's a serious topic even involved, I don't like to do the fuck, marry, kill.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, if we're gonna go with fuck and marry, I'm gonna say Matthew Lillard for myself, but just because I've been looking at him this whole time.
His parents are gonna be so mad at him. But yeah. So that's it, guys. Follow us on Instagram, handle with Scare X. Send us your fucking stupid tattoo. Do you know the email? Because I can't remember.
It is handlewithscaredpodcast1@gmail.com. It's actually been on your screen this whole time. If you're watching us on YouTube, leave us a like, subscribe, check us out on droptent.com/handlewithscared. That's where you can find all of our up-to-date shit. You can follow Anna here, Curls Jr. Tattoos, and then Heather, who was like, nah, I'm not coming. Because I remember her. That's exactly what she said. That's on Instagram. It's itty bitty trash mouth.
I remember it.
Itty bitty trash mouth. That's exactly what she said.
Girl.
Yeah.
The trash
and then you got
girl.
Handle with Scare X. That's where you can find all of our stuff.
Mm-hmm.
New episodes usually on Saturdays. So I'm probably going to come out a little bit earlier than that, but we're going to get back to Saturdays again.
Yep. And let me tell you what, if Evan wasn't here, I would not be able to read through all of that information because I am an improv kind of gal.
I just improved all that, so you're good.
Yes. Thank you, Evan. And thank you for listening, everybody. We'll see you next week.
cannibalistic humanoid underground dweller, a chud.
What did it mean to you to see that? Did it mean you love me?
Place to look to the past.
Great mess you've made of things again.
This has been a Drop Tent Media production.